Hey everybody, I'm going to talk to you real quick about ring dips and a couple of things that I think are important that are going to help your ring dips progress, A, to an unassisted ring dip, and then B, beyond that to other ring skills, muscle ups, forward rolls, etc. So a couple things we need to establish. Number one is the top position of the ring dip, or the support position. This is analogous to a plank hold and a push-up. So a couple of things we want here. Number one is shoulders want to be depressed. So we have a couple of different positions. We can have elevation, shoulders come up, or depression, shoulders push down. We're not going to have a lot of purposeful retraction. In fact, we may even have some protraction, or shoulders coming forward. But our main idea here is to push the shoulders away from the head or away from the neck, depressed shoulders. Number two is going to be elbow position. For some of us, we're going to have this very forward posture, bent arm, sort of gorilla style support position. That's okay initially. The first thing we want to do after making sure that shoulders are not up in your ears and that they're pushed away from your neck is try to straighten the elbows. Second thing we want to do is start to bring the hands around the side of the body and open them out just a little bit. I'm going to try to externally rotate the shoulder to progress this a little bit further, which means that the rings are going to turn out slightly. I'm going to be showing the wrist to whoever's in front of me. Third thing I'm going to do is bring them slightly away from the body so that the strap is no longer touching my shoulder. I don't need to be extreme with this. We're not doing an iron cross just yet, but if the strap is no longer touching the body, it's going to increase the load on the shoulder and make this a little bit more challenging. So, what does that look like on the rings? Number one, I want to make sure shoulders aren't up in the ears, so I'm going to push the shoulders down. If I don't yet have the ability to keep the elbows straight, I may be here. Again, don't let your shoulders up into your neck, push them down. First step, straighten the elbows. Second step, open the rings a little bit. Third step, finish opening them. Fourth step, pull them away from the body just slightly. Right? So that's our support position. Top of the ring dip. Number two, bottom position in the ring dip. Just like in a push-up, we want the chest to go all the way to the ground. We want a full range of motion. Full range of motion with the ring dip means that I have full flexion or full closure of the elbow. So if you just swing your hand up by your shoulder, you can see how close these two things get. A lot of us will stop our ring dips at about 90 degrees, or we'll look for the top of the ring to touch the bicep. Those are great benchmarks, but you should be able to get full elbow flexion. Second piece we want is forearm should be vertical. So if I place my wrist right under the strap, elbow is going to be right in line with the strap as I descend in my ring dip. This becomes the bottom of my ring dip rather than this or that 90-degree point. So all the way down. This is going to depend on your own shoulder mobility and shoulder health. So you may not be able to go that deeply initially. That's okay. But know that that is where ideally we would like you to be. Right? So what does this look like on the rings? I'm going to find whatever support position is appropriate for me. I'm going to descend until I have full elbow flexion, and then I'm going to press back up to whatever support position is appropriate for me. That ring dip is going to look very different for everybody depending on your ability level. Scale this by having our toes on the ground. That will allow us to reduce the load on the arms. The one thing I want to watch out for here is that I'm not just leaning over. This is not a ring dip. We need the hips to travel vertically down and then vertically back up as they would without your feet on the ground. Right? Hopefully that covers some things, gives you a couple things to think about. If you have any other questions, ask me, and I'll see you at the gym.